Hey babe, I'm back from work.
Hey babe, I'm in the kitchen. How was your day?
Stressful like always. Oh yes, what a day, what a stressful day. Finally finished with the work. That was time. And finally the long weekend. That was really time. Oh yeah, I forgot. Tomorrow we go to Ticino. Oh yes, baby, Ticino. Oh, that will be great. Ooh, I forgot it. Oh yes, that will be great. The twisty roads to drive. Oh yeah. That will be fun. Much fun. Now is this a question, the Gotthard or the San Bernardino pass? We took the Gotthard. It's much more nice to drive. Nicer roads. Oh yeah, that will be such a fun. Thank you. Now the weather, what they talk about tomorrow? Oh yeah, that will be good. That will be good. That will be great. Ooh.
Oh babe, can you put the baggage into the car?
Oh damn. Ha! You forgot that you're a family father, you jerk. There's no more twisty roads in sports cars. Guys, everybody of you who's a family father know the situation. Yesterday you was young, you have your emotion car in the garage, maybe it was tuned, maybe it was loud, doesn't matter, it was that car that you buy and love to drive. And then you meet your dream girl and one day later their kid's already there. So everybody knows the situation. And then it's time to say goodbye to your emotion car. And it's time to get something that makes more sense for the family. In the most cases, this is a station wagon. But the problem with the station wagon is those cars are normally boring. But there, fortunately, are some car makers out there that have a heart for us family fathers with sporty ambitions. So Audi was the first one who made us a gift. So they produced a RS2 and some years later the RS4 that give us a station wagon with sporty ambitions. Some years later comes also Mercedes around 97, 98 comes Mercedes with the AMG station wagon, and this year finally comes also BMW. At this point, good morning BMW. The BMW M3 station wagon should become years ago because many BMW fanboys was waiting for this car. Okay, anyway, today we are driving a car that everybody knows. The C63 AMG, the last V8 Biturbo, the last really emotional AMG station wagon. The new one is already out. It's a 4-cylinder with hybrid system from the Formula 1. But to be honest, who cares? It's a 4-cylinder. This is the last AMG emotion station wagon with the big, great, funny, noisy V8 engine. And we are here. Today is the 1st August. That means it's the birthday of Switzerland. It's the long weekend. And like all the Swiss people, we also come here to the Canton Tessin. This is the famous canton for holidays in Switzerland. And we will find out over 2 days how this car performs as a family wagon. Is it comfy? Is it spacey? And how this car performs for me as a driver who loves to drive sporty when we drive over the pass, the Gotthard pass, one way and the other way back. How it feels, is it sporty? We drive with kids, we drive with some baggages, and we will find out how this car is. We will also move this car someday here, local, around Tessin, and find also out how is it as a daily car? How is the fuel consumption? Is it well? I mean, at the end it's a V8. Yes, the fuel consumption will be not really great, but is it great for this, what this car gives to you? So let's find out. We have a long weekend because tomorrow is the 1st of August, and that means it's the birthday of Switzerland. So that's the reason why we have some more days free here in Switzerland. And like the most Swiss people, we are on our way to Tessin. That's the favorite canton for Swiss people for holidays because it's got Italian flair, and it also have this nice Mediterranean flair, and also it's most warmer than the rest of Switzerland. So, and that's the reason why we took this sports station wagon with us, to find out with the kids and with luggage and all that stuff how well this car can perform for us as family, and also when we drive over the passes, how well this car can perform with all four of us by sporty driving on a pass, for example.
Atomic.
Welcome back in the C63 AMG station wagon. So we was driving the last 2 days here in Switzerland around Lugano. We drive it a little bit local, we drive it a little bit more far, we make a short trip to Italy and back, and so it was a healthy mix of highway driving and also in-town driving. And we drive it the whole day, today and yesterday, in the comfort mode. And I need to say the car is in the right mode, in the comfort mode. It's a very comfortable car. It's really a daily car. You can use it. It's not loud. You always hear the V8 is working, how it's working, but it's working at a nice way, in a soft way. And when you're driving, for example, here in town, nobody turn his head and look what it is because it's too loud. So you're driving under the radar. If you change it to Sport Plus, it's getting louder, and then when you're driving around town, the people, not less, many people turn their heads to see what is here, what is so loud, what is coming, but everything is still legal. So because this is how it leaves the factory. So we drive it also here in Tessin. We got many small hills, so if you go from one town to the other one, you need to drive over the hills. And also there it was fun, also in the comfort mode, and was always comfy. It was never uncomfy, it was always comfy, because in the comfort mode the suspension works very precisely, very fine, and that what really makes a daily car. You can also use it for long traveling, absolutely no problem. As I say, we are 4 persons, and all 4 persons love it how this car drives. About the fuel consumption, I'm positive surprised, because at the beginning I was thought it would be more. Yes, of course, it's a V8 Biturbo, it's an AMG, so the fuel consumption is not so good like by a normal C station wagon with a petrol engine. It's more than this, but I was thought, because it have around 500 horsepower and also a little bit weight, that will be much more. So I was at this point really surprised about the fuel consumption. But don't forget, it's still an AMG. So if you want to drive this car, you need to know the fuel consumption, it's more than by a normal car. Yes, and so we will see what the day brings. We will still driving here around town, and but I think we will be not bad surprised, because the last 2 days was great. Everything is fine. We love all how the cars drive. And we love it even more how it performs when you go to Sport and Sport Plus, about on the pass, on the hills, on the twisty roads. And so we are happy that tomorrow we're driving back, and we're driving back over the Gotthard Pass with these nice twisty roads, and we can then go again to the Sport and Sport Plus modes. So, all right, so we start to hit the beautiful, nice, twisty roads of the Gotthard Pass, world famous. Everybody know him around here in Europe, and so we will attack him. All right, first, now we are in comfy mode. First, we need to sharp a little bit more the car, and now we go there to Sport Plus. You see it also here, and then we go here to the manual modus of the gearbox, so we can change the gears itself. All right, now you feel immediately everything is getting more aggressive, and the car is getting louder. The steering feeling is a little bit more harder, and the suspension is much more harder, and that's what you need for a twisted road like this. So let's see, second gear, and this car has damn power. Much torque, so when you go through the corners like here, and you can really move them very precisely. My God, that's a lot of power. That's a lot of power. That's more. You doesn't need that power, that much power, but it's fun to have it, you know. And so you can drive these twisty roads here. 4 person, including baggages in the trunk. This car moves perfect around the corners. You see, the steering wheel feedback is great. Suspension work is perfect. Wow, and such a great sound. And all this pops when you go away from the acceleration, from the gas pedal. Makes you smiling, makes you really smiling. It's like you're driving some really hardcore sports car, some muscle car or whatever you want to say it. It doesn't feel like a station wagon, not at all. But it is a station wagon, you know? It is a station wagon with the heart from a sports car. And let's talk about this heart, this engine, this M177. It's a special kind of engine. It's the last V8 Biturbo for the C-Class, and they doesn't produce them anymore. So now they got a 4-cylinder engine. The thing here, what Mercedes and AMG have done, they took the M133 engine. This is the famous engine from the A-Class, A45 AMG. It is the most powerful 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo engine. So they took 2 of them and make this M177 outlift. So there are 2 heads of this engine, of this M133, put to this one. And what's here special, the M177 is a hot V engine. What that means? Hot V means he got his turbochargers between the 2 cylinder banks. What is good, because when you construct an engine like this, the engine is much more slimmer, and you can put it in a small chassis like this from the C-Class. You don't need the big chassis from the A-Class, from the E-Class. And the other thing is, the whole thing about the thermic, about the cooling of the engine is more efficiency. So that's why this engine is colder than a normal V8 with twin turbos. The other thing is what they do, they coated the cylinder walls with a special coating system called nano coating, and this makes 50% less friction to the engine. What makes better fuel economy, it's more fuel efficient, it's also cooler, it stays cooler, it doesn't get hotter because you got less friction, and also the power development, the whole power thing is much smoother and much more than by a normal V8 Biturbo. And all those things make this engine such a great engine. And he don't need some hybrid systems and whatever to help him to get more fuel economy, to get less fuel economy. Because I was surprised how good this car is in fuel economy. I was driving this car on the highway around town and all that stuff, and some hills up and down, and I am around 10 liters per 100 kilometers, and that's a great number for a V8 Biturbo with such a lot of power. And the one point is the special frictionless coating, this nano frictionless coating on the cylinder walls. And the other thing is, since 2016, this engine, this M177, got the cylinder shut off. So when you're driving normally, 4 cylinders shutting off, and you're driving a 4-cylinder. And that's what makes sense when you're driving, for example, around town. And that's also the reason why this car is so less fuel economy. No, it's so fuel economy. Now here, the next corner. You go inside, second gear, 30 kilometers per hour, and then took the corner, give it to him. Power drift. My God, yes. And this pops. You hear that pops non-stop. If you're in the right mode, you have these pops when you're going away from the gas pedal. Oh. I'm loving it. I really get in love with this car. I'm really glad that to be honest, if I would keep it 2 days longer, I will no more give it back. So I'm glad today is the last day I give it back, so I ain't coming on stupid ideas to buy it, you know?
You will let me. No. Hey.
But when it's sometimes getting louder at the back seats, just touch the gas pedal.
No.
And it's getting immediately quieter. So what's the conclusion? The conclusion is I absolutely fell in love with this thing. A station wagon for the family with the DNA of a performance car. I think that's one of the best ideas that humankind have. And this implementation of Mercedes, how they do it, this is the absolutely dream for every family father.
Let's buy the car.
Okay, you see, I need to go. So until next time.